Welcome back, everybody. Now, today is update number 26. This is where I go back to 10 past products in order and let you know how they've held up since my original review was posted. So if you saw my original review, this is a chance to see how they've held up since then. If you missed it, you also get clips from the original review and the update. Without further delay, let's get right to update number 26. Number 251 was a comparison of two memory foam pillows in two different price ranges. This Tempur-Pedic, which was $155, and this Beautyrest, which was $50. Let's first take a look at how the original video went. A $50 memory foam pillow from Beautyrest and a $155 memory foam from Tempur-Pedic. This feels pretty firm. This feels pretty soft. They appear to be about the same thickness, which is good. It doesn't feel quite as soft as I expected. It doesn't feel as hard as the Tempur-Pedic, and it feels pretty cool too. All right, 2 weeks later, here's what we got. It's weird because when your head goes in the pillow, it sinks down at first, but then it kind of stops. It still feels kind of hard. On your back, it seems like that's a better position for it. This one took no time to get used to whatsoever. It felt nice from the very first use, and it still feels that way. It's weird because you look at them, they look the same thickness almost, but this one has a much thinner feel to it when you put your head on it. This one feels thicker because it doesn't have as much give to it. This is like a rock, and this is like a pillow. So I've actually continued to use these since that original review. Now, the Tempur-Pedic my daughter used for about 6 months until she found another one she liked better. And then I started using it more as a cushion than a pillow ever since then. I still use it every day as a cushion. I don't like it as a pillow as much, but it's a great cushion. The Beautyrest, on the other hand, is still my pillow of choice. Even though I've reviewed a lot of pillows since then, this is still my top choice. The case is getting a little bit frayed. The memory foam maybe isn't quite as springy as it used to be, but it's still my favorite pillow. If it ever becomes unusable, I'm probably gonna buy another one because the Beautyrest is that good. Number 252 is the pillow pad, which is an as seen on TV device holder. Let's first take a look at how the original review went. You rest your device here. The pillow pad may not be the most unique design out there, and there's a lot of other options. Some of them as cheap as 12 bucks. I'm gonna try the steepest angle first, and I don't like that at all. It looks like it's gonna fall over. Oh, well, you know what? This is actually not bad laying down. No, that one's tilted too far back, so that's not gonna work. Here we go, this is the angle right here. I will say also the pillow pad's very light. It's extremely light, actually. If you take the cover off, hello, it's just a big piece of foam. So that would be a problem. I don't think it's really travel friendly. I can see in a bumpy car, this is not gonna be a good one. So I think the 42-degree angle is gonna be the best one for the back seat. Just to show you how light this thing really is, check it out. Yeah, this is the pillow pad, and that's all there is to it. Look at this, I tore it. Ontel, get with the program. That's a terrible zipper, man. I would say, other than the horrible case, I would give this thing about, you know, an 8 out of 10 as far as usefulness goes. I think most people will actually find it useful. Some people probably won't. I think that most people will, though. This is kind of an interesting one. Usually when I do a product review, I try to keep using it for a while afterwards, knowing that I'm going to do an update like this. And with the pillow pad, I wasn't really convinced I was going to keep using it, but because I made myself use it for a while afterwards, I got used to it. Now it's become part of my nightly routine. So before bed, I'm usually propped up with my Tempur-Pedic pillow behind me and my pillow pad on my lap with my device. I can see how some people may not be convinced something like this is useful. It is kind of big, but there are those out there who like it, and I'm one of them. Number 253 was a collection of grilled cheese sandwich makers. Let's first take a look back at how that original video went. So now what we're supposed to do is put the sandwich in this basket. Oh, that looks nicely toasted. That looks somewhat toasted. That looks pretty good. Swiss is rocking it as well. I think for under 3 minutes, that's actually pretty impressive. A lot of people have said a panini press is the way to go if you want the ultimate grilled cheese maker. So this model by Hamilton Beach is highly rated. It's been 1 minute. Let me lift it up. Whoa! Look at those beautiful grill marks too. Wow, that cheese is melted. It only took a little over a minute. Gooey Swiss cheese. This is the red copper flip, which I've had for almost 3 years now. Gently place the sandwich, squeeze it closed, and attach the clip. We'll see how long this takes. Okay, that side's done. That side's done. We're done. Not as fast as the others, and I had to do one at a time, but still pretty good. Nice gooey cheese in there, looking good. Final entry is the newer as seen on TV model by Gotham Steel. This is a sandwich maker. Not quite as much room to work with here, but I think that'll do. It says close it and lock the lid, but don't force it. I I either got to force it shut or lock it. I can't do both at the same time. Got something coming out of the side there. That's not good. All right, it's been 3 minutes. Let's check it out. Oh, wow. That's not quite what I expected. It's very unusual looking. I still have to cut it in half, even though it kind of cut it, but I got to finish cutting it. Well, what do you guys think? I'm not too sure about this. It seemed like most people tended to pick the Flipwich and the Gotham Steel as the best looking grilled cheese sandwiches. I think all of them did pretty well, so it's just a matter of what kind of sandwich you like and how much you want to spend. Grilled cheese makers is not really something that a lot of people have at hand. I did try to use the Nostalgia grilled cheese maker for a while. I left it out thinking maybe I would get some use out of it as a toaster, but I already have a toaster that I like. So it really wasn't something that got a lot of use, so it ended up back in the boneyard with the rest of my Ask on TV products. I'm not sure a dedicated grilled cheese gadget is something most people want to take up valuable real estate in their kitchen with, including me. They were pretty fun to test out, but not something that I would probably recommend buying. Number 254 was actually a comparison of two wall climbing cars. These are actually remote control cars that stick to the wall and climb it. Here's some scenes from the original review. This is Radical Racers. It's an as seen on TV car for kids that can climb up walls and do 360 stunts. This is an Amazon remote control car that can also climb walls and do 360 stunts. Is it me or do these look very similar? Oh wow, this sounds like a vacuum. Oh wow, it is stuck to the wall. Okay, there's a little learning curve here. I have to admit that's kind of fun. It's got headlights that are blue and tail. Oh! I think the blinking lights mean that it's almost done. All right, the Amazon did pretty well, but let's see how the Radical Racers does. Sounds familiar also. And it sticks. Right off the wall. This one is seeming harder to control for me. And it keeps falling off the wall. I'm just trying to go straight and it keeps falling off. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh no, Bailey, you don't like that, do you? All right, so between the two of these, in the end, I would take the Amazon Epic Air. I guess it's not really something that I've used around here that much, but I have pulled them out a few times to show people the novelty of it. It's actually pretty unique. And usually when people see that for the first time, they're pretty impressed by it, especially kids. So even though it's not something that got a lot of use in my house, I do think if you have kids, they're gonna like it. Number 255 is a Ninja Foodi grill. Let's take a look at the original video and see how that went. Ooh, nice sizzle. Some nice grill marks, that's good. I think the steak came out actually pretty nice. Here we go. Oh, nice sizzle. Nice sizzle. It's going to be a learning curve, more than I expected. I thought their grill chart might be a little more helpful, but it's not. They say you can go from frozen chicken to cooked. As you can see, these are quite frozen. These are 9-ounce fillets. This is only 18 minutes. They said 20 to 25. All right, I think that came out pretty good. And here we go. What do you guys think about that? These feel totally done in 14 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh wow. They're looking pretty good. I've got one layer of banana chips, lightly coated with lemon juice. All right, let's check it out. Here we go. I think it's a dehydrated banana. I think it came out pretty much like I would expect. I'm actually quite happy with it, and I'm going to continue to use it. Now, this is a great item, something I use all the time, something I recommend all the time. There is one caveat, and that is the grill itself, as I said in my original review, is kind of hard to clean. And this is something that I kind of dread doing every time I use it. I don't really like cleaning this grill. It's kind of a pain. If you can get past that, though, I do think that if you're someone who likes to grill and you can't always do it outdoors, the Ninja Foodi grill is still a great choice. Number 256 is a 100 square foot blanket called the Big Blanket. Let's check out some scenes from the original review. Today I'm reviewing the largest item I've ever reviewed, which is this 10 foot by 10 foot, 100 square foot blanket by the Big Blanket Company. And I'm actually going to attach it to the wall so I can get an idea of how big this thing really is, because it's kind of hard to visualize 10 foot by 10 foot unless you're standing right next to it. You could do like an invisibility cloak. It's actually a little heavier than I thought. I was worried it was going to be thinner, but this is actually a pretty good weight blanket. This is the size of the blanket, and I've got about another foot on the bottom. It's a huge blanket. This is bigger than a king size bed. All right, just for comparison's sake, that is a king size comforter on top of the big blanket. This is a king size bed. Look all the way to the floor here. So far it feels pretty good. It's heavier than I expected. This is a 5.5 foot blanket, and this is a almost 5-year-old dog. You got plenty of room. Look, you got room for Bailey in here. The fort came out pretty good. When I was a kid, we'd have overlapping blankets, but this big blanket, you don't have to do that. But should I wash it or leave it up? I don't know what that means. All right, you got plenty of blanket over there?
Yeah,
plenty of blanket. I think that besides the price, it's actually a good product. Now this is one item I don't have here because I actually gave it to my 6'7" trainer who was complaining about having no bedding that would fit him, so I actually let him try the big blanket and he's never given it back. The last time I asked him about it though, he said he actually liked it quite a bit. So if you know someone who's really tall or you know people that like to share the blanket on the couch, it actually has some use. It might be a bit steep price-wise, but if you like what you see in the advertising, you're probably gonna like the big blanket. Number 257 was a collection of travel gadgets that I reviewed in Hawaii. Let's first take a look at how the original review went. It's kind of a cool idea. As you can see, it folds up. It goes out once, and then it folds out once again. You have a little notch here where you can put straps or tank tops, and it does fold up into a nice compact design like that. Let's take a look in the closet here. Oh, what do you know? They already have hangers. Honestly, these hangers are actually better, but if you didn't have hangers in there, I guess it's a good thing. So this one, you put your clothing in the bag, this sucks all the air out, and then you have everything compressed down. Does it look like they may have repurposed the same thing and just changed the color? Good thing my flight isn't leaving today. That goes in the suitcase. Did that really save much room? It's a little bit wrinkled, kind of wrinkled. These are little tablets that you get wet and it turns into a towel. Now how cool is that? Wet and unfold. Oh, wow. Oh, there it is. Whoa. It kind of feels more like one of those heavy-duty paper towels. I think I paid $89 for this. It is a fold-up portable chair. It feels pretty sturdy. My wallet feels much lighter after buying it, too. So I'm happy that it actually fit in my backpack. Now, is it water bottle sized? I don't think so. All right, I was worried it might sink a lot in the sand, but it isn't really. As compact as it is, I'm pretty impressed. All right, so I did use it on the plane, and I found that I couldn't even put my head all the way down because it was hitting the seat in front of me. Although once I found a comfortable position, it actually worked quite well. Is you can put your face flat on the table, and your nose and mouth don't hit the table, like this. I take that back, my nose just hit the table. It's not terrible, it's pretty good. I mean, I would normally, this would be uncomfortable, but it's not so bad right now. I did travel once in 2020. I didn't bother taking travel hangers with me. They've been in my closet ever since then. They're actually pretty good hangers. There's nothing really unusual about them except for the fact that they fold. They're decent hangers. I just don't take them on the road with me. I went through all of my pack and wipes. I kept a couple of them just to show you for this update. It's actually pretty handy to have these in the car. Now, a lot of times people put moist towelettes in the car, but those are larger and they can dry out. These, I always have a bottle of water with me, so it's easy to activate these. The only problem with these is the availability on Amazon's been kind of hit and miss, but they are actually a good item to have on hand. As far as the pack and stack goes, I've had this for a year waiting to show you. So I sealed this in December of 19. It's now January of 21. It's still vacuum sealed, so the pack and stack has actually held up as far as that goes. This has gotten jostled around in my closet a lot. I wasn't sure how long it was going to hold up, but it's held up for a year, so I give them credit for that. Now for the ostrich pillow, I have not found much use for this. Number 258 is the HEXCLAD Pan. This is an expensive pan that I reviewed about a year ago. Still advertising online. Let's first take a look at how the original review went. It's a very attractive pan. If pans can be attractive, it is attractive. All right, well, this definitely is not sticking. Oh, came right off. I feel like the HEXCLAD may have cooked a little bit more quickly than the Granite Rock as far as the shrimp goes. These don't seem quite as done as those do. Well, I don't see any scratches. All right, well, it definitely didn't stick. Not too bad, really. This doesn't seem like very efficient anyways. I don't think I would normally do this. Let me take a very close look at this pan after using the mixer on it. I don't see any marks. I'm a little bit impressed. This is the area that I was focusing on toward the end. Nothing. What I do see is, you can look, discoloration though. That is the problem. We're gonna try to get that off with the Brillo pad test. Ah! Let's see what we got. Okay, you know what? It still looks discolored. I got good news and bad news. The good news is that it is possible to get the discoloration off. The bad news is that you're gonna look like Popeye with your forearms after all the scrubbing you have to do that. I have to say that this is one that's kind of won me over the last year. I gave it a pretty good review, although I had 2 issues with it. One issue being the price, and the other one being that it stains easily. And it still does stain easily. I still stand by those complaints. In fact, take a look. Unless I really scrub it hard, it just doesn't seem worth it to scrub so much every time I use it. But the surface itself is actually held up quite well. So if you can get past the fact that it's kind of hard to clean and you might be stuck with stains on your pan, that doesn't affect how well the pan works. I think that I probably like it now more than I did when I originally reviewed it. The HEXCLAD is actually a pretty good pan. Next up was a collection of phone holders for the car. I did quite a few of them all at once. Here's some scenes how that original phone holder comparison went. This is the, I think it's called Bosnoy cradle type. And it just kind of clamps down your phone like that. So that's kind of an interesting design. All right, it's kind of, well, I lose a cup holder. Look at this though. Ooh, I like that. That's something oddly satisfying. Oh, and the way sound it makes too. Oh, so this actually clips kind of near your steering wheel and it simulates a HUD or heads-up display. I like how it's not staying. I thought this was going to be the easiest one to mount. Ugh. And it's sliding right off. Well, this was the lowest rated one of the 5. And now I can kind of see why. All right, this is just a standard clip type mount, so let's just try it on here. Now that was easy to install. Ooh, ooh. Another oddly satisfying one. Oh, I mean, I guess when you push the phone in there, it automatically grabs onto it. So let's throw some phones in here and get driving. So I've got 4 of the phone mounts because number 5 is riding the pine. This one's on the sidelines. So far they all seem stable, but the air vent one I think is probably bouncing around the most, but it still seems pretty stable. This one I'm most surprised about because I wasn't sure it was going to work at all, and it seems like it's steady as a rock. About 5 seconds after I finished that segment, but look what's, hello, nothing there. This one just hit the deck. All right, there's a couple speed bumps here. Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's barely budging. My camera is moving more than the phone is. You know, that actually seems pretty solid. This one I kind of don't expect to move. Bump, bump. Because it's being held from both top and bottom, although it is in the horizontal position. These are the 2 I'd pick as my favorites, and your mileage will certainly vary if you try these out. So for a few months, I actually did use the Top Go. I found it to be useful, but eventually I wanted my other cup holder back, so it ended up back in the garage. I don't use any of them anymore. There's quite a few other phone holders out there. I might look at doing a second part soon, but I still think the Top Go was a good choice, as long as you don't mind losing a cup holder. Last but not least, it's the Ninja Foodi air fry oven. Let's first take a look at how the original review went. Now I'm going to focus on the Ninja Foodi oven, but I also want to bring in the Power Air Fryer Oven 360 because this is still a popular choice, still heavily advertised, to see what kind of differences there are between the 2 of them. The Power Air Fryer Oven on 3, the Ninja on 3. Look at this beautiful toast on the Ninja and this somewhat not so impressive toast. One cool thing about the Ninja is that it has this cool flip up feature, so you can actually flip it up and have a little bit more counter space as long as you have enough height, because it does get taller. All right, it's finally done preheating. This one's almost half done. I'm very impressed with the Ninja. 10 minutes, 19 minutes. All right, look at the 2 of them after 20 minutes. Clearly more cooked on the Ninja. This broccoli is nice and crispy like you want roasted vegetables to be. This just, I don't know, man. Ninja's just killing it. It's a runaway. All right, just to compare the 2 of these, as you can see, some of the smaller pieces on the Ninja are brown. I don't see any of them brown on this one. None. It's kind of no point in continuing on because the Ninja is clearly the more efficient of the 2 ovens. All right, so the Ninja Foodi oven was my 3rd review of 2020 and my pick for the best product of the entire year. And it's something I still use quite often. In fact, I get asked a lot which one I would choose between the grill and the oven, and that's a tough choice. But in my case, I would take the oven because it seems a little more versatile. It's something that gets used here all the time. I actually like using it better than the oven in a lot of cases. I'm a big fan of the Ninja Foodi air fry oven. Well, that's it. This was a pretty good batch of products. I think that this particular set of items I use more than the average update. I have both Ninjas, the Beauty Rest, the pillow pad, the HEXCLAD. My trainer is using the big blanket. So there's actually quite a few in this batch that are still being used. I'll be back in a few days with another product review, or in a few months with my next update video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.